Live from the studio. I'm Jimmy Selesky.
I'm Eric Glazer, and we're still on quarantine, baby.
Yeah, we're doing our second in the remote series, which I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly
this is
enjoying
like a new
it now,
season.
Dude.
This is like a new season of the cast.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game, dude.
I know,
And it's better,
crazy.
dude. I got we got it figured out. I did a covert mission to drive down to Hamden, drop you off the microphone and the
man.
mic stand.
Dude,
we
we're looking
transitioned
professional now.
Yeah, I know. This looks real. Last week we were sitting
You
like a bunch of
extended the
fucking...
mic as far as it could go, which is 6 feet, and then I grabbed the other side of it. And then we both backed away.
Slowly. No words
Yeah.
exchanged, dude. You didn't want that viral to go
Yeah.
airborne, dude. We communicate with our eyes. You knew it was up.
I knew,
And
it,
I
was
knew
up.
it was up.
Also, I was like in the middle of a game. I like just died, and it was about to like be a round restart, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta get the mic. I gotta get back inside."
Yeah, dude,
And I feel
that
like I
was,
didn't convey that enough, and I was like, "Oh shit, did I just like ghost Jimmy?"
Nah, dude, you were good. You were good. I mean, I did sit out front of your apartment for an hour after and cry, but we were good. That was actually the first time I drove all week. Was to
Yeah.
go to your house, and I was paranoid as fuck on the way down because this was right after I think they made like the
right
full
after the
lockdown.
stay at home.
Yeah, they made the full lockdown, I
Yeah.
think, on Monday, right? And
I
then,
think so.
yeah, and then I think I dropped off the mic on like Wednesday or Thursday, and I wasn't aware of like what the situation was on the roads because I'd been in my house the whole time. And so when I cruised down, I was like thinking of excuses, like, okay, if you get pulled over, what are you gonna say? Like, I'm getting groceries from my grandmother. She lives in Hamden. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Like, it was weird. It was a weird feeling. And actually, when I popped onto 83 off of 695, I saw a cop with his lights on, and I was like, fuck, I'm getting pulled over. But he pulled over the guy behind me.
Ooh, perfect.
Yeah, and so as soon as I saw the guy behind
Good
me get pulled
shit.
over, yeah, I didn't know what it was for. So I was like, fuck this, I'm going on the back road. So I bopped off 83 and just took down fucking Roland and Falls and shit. And like, but then like I realized like, I thought about it for a second. I was like, wait, there's other cars on the road. How are they just looking at cars and be like, this guy has no reason to be out right now. But that guy needs to be out right now. Like, you don't fucking know.
Yeah, I think from what I heard, potentially they can't pull you over unless they have like another reason first. Like,
Which is already the case, yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, but for them to enforce the, because it's like a $5,000 ticket or something.
Yeah.
It's something fucking crazy. But they have to pull you over on like speeding or something first, and then also I think it has to be after the curfew too, which is like 8 p.m.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that too. I was like, what if I did incur a $5,000 fine for just being out?
It's like, dude, I'm not paying that.
Yeah, I would
I'm
definitely
already
try to fight
unemployed,
that.
bro.
Yeah, like I would
What do you
definitely
expect from me?
I was trying to think like if I were to be pulled over, would I go with the lie and like would he maybe call my grandmother to verify that I'm getting like how far are they gonna take it, or should I just tell him what's up and be like, look, dude,
You call me and you're like, "Hey, grandma, you're on speakerphone."
yeah, I need you. I know you'd be game for that. Hi, Dimitri. Are you home with my groceries yet?
I hope you were safe at the grocery store.
Yeah, dude. Or I was thinking either between that or just laying on the truth and be like, look, dude, I have a nationally syndicated podcast. It's very important
Nationally syndicated.
via the internet. And it's very important that I drop off this crucial equipment to my grandmother in Hamden.
Along with the groceries.
Along with the groceries.
Me
I
and
do a
my grandma
podcast.
have a great podcast.
It's called Grandma's Boy, and it's very important.
Ooh, that was a good pull.
I
dude.
know, dude. I know.
You're
dude. I was
thinking
like,
about it a lot.
that one just came to me, but
That's beautiful. Sometimes
Yeah, I
it just
came-
happens like that.
I made a fake Instagram account for my grandmother's podcast with me. Posted picture. Put the bot on it so we have 11,000 followers. He's like,
Hell
oh,
yeah.
damn, you got 11K on this grandma podcast. That's amazing.
What are you sipping on over there? I saw a blue can.
Bud Light, dude, times are tough. I went to the liquor store and I walked up to the, what are you sipping on?
I got a little snake dog going.
Ooh, see, you're in a different mode than me.
Hippo.
I walked across the street.
This is my
the big-
first one of the day, though.
Well, yeah, this is my second. I did a little pre-pod Bud Light just to loosen up the goose, and then And then this is the entry to it. But I walked across the street to Skyline, and I was like, in the fridge section, I picked up a 12-pack of Corona Light at first, and then I was like, "Do you really have Corona Light money right now, dude? How worth
Yeah.
it for the novelty of drinking Corona is it when you could have either 12 Corona Lights or 30 Bud
30.
Lights for the same price?" And I was like,
Exactly.
you know what? I'm going Bud Light. I wish the
Yeah.
virus was named after a cheaper beer, but it's not. I didn't make the virus, so here we are.
Well, luckily, liquor stores didn't close on April 1st. I think that must have just been like an April Fool's Day joke.
I
Because people are
think
saying
so.
like liquor stores like last day is the 31st of March. And then like obviously I didn't go before then. But on like April 1st or 2nd, I was like, well, maybe if they do shut down soon, I will go stock up again. So I got
Yeah.
like a couple beers. I got some vodka. I had like a gin making kit Elizabeth got me like a long ass time ago.
Nice.
And I made like 2 small little bottles of gin with some
How
vodka.
long does it take
It was
to
like-
make one?
I mean, it was unfiltered, so like you basically just like put like spice blend in vodka and then strain it out. And that was it.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, you fermented gin in fucking 1 hour, dude. That's
Yeah, dude,
amazing.
my fucking
I'm about to do
bathtub,
this
dude.
shit all the time, dude. Grew a whole gin tree and fucking distilled in 1 day flat.
Juniper
Amazing.
berries, baby.
Juniper, yeah.
It was a 24-hour soak of juniper berries, and then in the last 12 hours there's like a spice blend, and then I put in a couple extra spices of my own
Nice.
in there. Put a couple.
What'd you put in there? Some nutmeg, some cinnamon.
Mainly
some
just
Italian
Szechuan
seasoning?
peppercorn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Spicy
just
gin.
to get well, not and it so Szechuan peppercorn is interesting because it's like has like a very floral taste, which I think would go well in a gin, but
Huh.
it gives you like a numbing tongue feel, and I feel like that might even help with
The taste of gin.
alcohol.
Like, I can't even feel
Yeah.
my tongue. Feels like somebody else is
exactly.
drinking it.
Yeah, and Baltimore Whiskey Company makes like a Szechuan peppercorn Amarillo or some shit, whatever that's called. It's like a liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, people are making it with this, like different types of liquor. So it's like not that out of the ballpark. It's not like
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I put
Bombay
fucking like
Sapphire-
sardine oil in that shit.
Bombay Sapphire has like 24 different flavors infused. You got to imagine one of them is
Yeah,
sardines
probably.
or fucking anchovies or something.
Fucking palm olive.
Yeah, dude. Somebody's got to be eating anchovies. Still haven't seen an anchovy pizza in years, but apparently that's what Caesar dressing is made out of. So
Wasn't
Who
there like
fucking
some
knows?
crazy wasn't that like a Futurama episode where like anchovies went extinct, but like Fry got his like all of his possessions back from when he was before he was frozen in time, and his like bank account soared, and like he also had like 1 can of anchovies. Fucking intergalactic fucking crabs wanted to take it from him.
that is like the
Zoidberg's people.
most rogue. I feel like pineapple kind of stole anchovies' thunder as the most polarizing
yeah.
topping, but everyone
Well, no,
knows.
it's crazy. As a kid, the craziest topping on a pizza that I could fathom was like black olives. I was like, you putting black olives on a pizza? That's gross, dude.
Yeah, it's
Little
not
did I
gross, It's just
know.
not good.
Little did I know, dude.
Anchovies are around,
Anchovies
and pineapple.
are fucking worse. And but I actually kind of like pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, I like
Scott,
it too.
Scott got me into the buffalo chicken pineapple at Seasons, and that shit was so good.
It's not my go-to. Like, I'm never gonna be like, "Yo, let's get pineapple on a pizza." But if that's what's available, I'll crush it, dude. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I'm not a picky eater at all. Dude. I'll eat just about anything. But like, I don't know. The pineapple. I think the big thing for me isn't as much the flavor as it is the texture. It's like
Yeah.
a pineapple topping changes the whole composition of a pizza. It kind of makes it a little soggier. It doesn't carry.
Yeah, but
You
I
have to
mean,
eat it
people
fresh.
put like fresh tomato on pizza, and that's like the
Yeah.
same kind of texture when you bite into it. I think what people don't like is like the sweetness aspect of it, but in any other aspect of cooking, you're trying to like balance like 5 spices, like the salty, the sweet, the tangy, the sour, and the
which they
whatever
try
else.
to do with the marinara. A good marinara sauce should cover
Should be a little sweet, yeah.
all those aspects, but if not, that's where pineapples come in. And if there's not enough salt, or fishiness to it. One of the other 5 flavor profiles, fishy
Yeah.
grossness. That's
Yeah,
where
fishy,
anchovies come.
oily.
Fishy and oily and disgusting.
Yeah,
That's-
all 3 parts of the food pyramid.
Yeah. Umami, salt, fucking sweetness, disgustingness, and fucking spice. That's it.
Yeah.
Heat. That's the food pyramid.
Biodegrading, rotting.
Yeah, I was amazed when I found out we actually had anchovies at Seasons. Somebody ordered it over the phone, and I was like, "Do we have that?" And there was just this old can of like
You guys like blew
disgusting.
dust off of it, like fucking national treasure.
The Declaration of Independence was fucking written on the back of it. Like, what the fuck is
You
this
have to put
shit?
fucking like lime juice on or lemon juice on it and put a heat gun on top of it. Like
And they don't expire because
mysterious ink appeared.
they're already expired. So it's like, they come pre-sold, pre-expired.
Oh yeah, they got canned expired.
They, instead of having like a use by date, they have don't use before this date.
It just says don't use on it.
Do not
It says
use
not
this.
for human consumption.
This was made as a joke, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Instead of a sell by date, they just have the fucking little poison guy.
The fucking yuck guy. Dude. I haven't seen that guy
Yeah.
in a minute. Where's he been at?
Yuck. Yeah, I don't know.
What if instead
was-
of
That was an
You know-
interesting time. That was an interesting. It's really interesting that like, because as a kid, I never like needed that warning to be like, oh yeah, I shouldn't drink the fucking bleach or the
Yeah.
like. I kind of always knew in the back of my head like, yeah, probably don't drink that stuff that like melts through metal.
Yeah, I want to know how dumb a kid is to drink bleach in the first. Like you don't smell how bad it is. You don't open up a bottle of bleach if you're smart enough to bypass the child lock on a bottle of bleach. You should be smart
yeah.
enough to know not to drink it.
Yeah, you should be smart enough to do like a Rubik's Cube and realize that you shouldn't put a fucking fork in an outlet.
I still can't figure out the fucking child lock on like pill bottles and stuff, which is why I'm not an addict. I can't figure it out.
So I don't take vitamins, dude.
Like, wait, do I push first or which way do I
Dude,
twist? I don't
speaking of
even know.
which, this is gonna be the first cast anyone's ever eaten vitamins on.
Oh, I thought you were like, this is be the first podcast. I'm popping pills, baby. Fucking drop a couple perks on the podcast, dude.
Dude, should I?
Should I? Fucking snorting Centrum over there, dude.
No, that's an Altoid.
Nice, bro. For a second, I was like, oh yeah, I guess Altoids are pills, but not really at all, because you don't
No.
just fucking swallow an Altoid and it somehow freshens your breath.
Yeah.
My grandmother
it
was
freshens your breath every time you burp.
Yeah, exactly, dude. My grandmother was convinced that bad breath comes from the stomach, and so maybe she pops Altoids like pills, and
Maybe.
that's why she has terrible breath. So. But
Damn,
yeah,
that's a pretty wild theory. Bad breath comes from the stomach.
there's just certain theories that I think everybody runs with, and it's amazing how far into life you can go without anyone ever calling it into question. Like there's certain
for
things
sure.
that people
Like there's so
believe.
many things in your head that you like are complete fact as a kid. Like I literally thought in I think it was like pre-K. There was like I went to this like pre-K before kindergarten because I had like afternoon kindergarten basically. I like went in at noon and got out at 3.
Oh, you were
and,
a PM kid.
I was a PM kid, dude. And
Weird.
in the AM, if my grandma was over, I'd hang out at the house until kindergarten, or I would go to this place called Miss Sally's. I don't think that
There you
was the
go.
name of the place, but that was like the person who ran it. And there's like a playground outside, and there's always like wasp nests in the playground. But I thought I figured out that like every time you ran into the shade, the wasps wouldn't follow you. So I was like, oh, wasps hate shade, and that's why they're not out at night.
Oh,
And I literally like I lived like for 10, 12 years past that, thinking that
Just
like
thinking
if
that.
I ever see a wasp, I'm just running underneath a tree.
can't touch me. Even though
get me,
there's a
bro.
fucking wasp's nest in the tree.
Yeah. I ran back to his home. It's like perfect.
I'll get shade under this wasp's nest, dude. That'll keep them away. Yeah, dude, there's an amazing amount of stuff. I know it just, yeah. But at least you had like a working theory, you know? Like, I got to be honest, like when you're a kid and you hear, well, that's why they're not out at night, that holds water. If you don't think to like dive any deeper into the
But no one
the
told me
scheme of
that. That was
things-
all just things that I came up with myself through
Yeah.
like observation.
Yeah, so you were like, okay, wasps aren't out at night. What does the shade have in common with night? Not a lot of light. Wasps hate darkness. There you go. I mean, that's honestly, that's a smart kid. As far as like the whole yuck symbol thing goes, I think we should go back to that, dude, because if you look at like cigarettes, for instance, when you go to another country,
We need a fucking
by-
yuck guy on cigarettes,
yeah,
dude.
instead of fucking, by the way, I'm back to smoking cigs on this cast because I looked like such a fucking tool last week ripping that jewel. I couldn't even bear to watch myself. And also I ran out of jewel pods. So the two of those combined and mostly the second one. But like, you know, you go to other countries and they have they literally have like a guy with like the bottom of his mouth cut off and like,
Oh yeah, they have like black lung and like shit like that.
it's insane, dude. It's like, give me a fucking break. Just put the fucking green yuck guy on it. Just do that.
Put the green.
You don't have to
yuck
fucking
guy
put a
on it.
picture of a guy's amputated gangrene leg on this. I get it. Some of this shit doesn't even make sense. It's like, why are you showing me an uncircumcised dick on this pack of cigarettes, dude? I don't even fucking know what these have to do with each other. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. 2020 year of the yuck, dude.
Yeah, dude. I hope we bring it back, dude. I mean, it's a global reset altogether. Everything's going back to the way it was, dude. I'm back at Seasons Pizza. Back
Dude,
in black.
I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that on your Instagram story.
I was, you know, I still to this
Dude, you're
day.
in a rock and a hard place, bro.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, and
Gotta do what you gotta
everybody's
do.
in the same boat. You know, I still to this day have not been able to get in contact with the unemployment agency. As we talked about last week, I can't file online because of my self-employed situation, so I have to go through somebody. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really tried that much this week, but I've just every now and then I'll randomly try to throw them a call because I'm not gonna sit by my phone all fucking day, every day. I sent them a couple emails. When I sent the email 2 weeks ago, they were like, we'll return your email in 48 hours. They send like an auto response thing. And then when I sent an email this week, I noticed that they changed that to just be like, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Because they obviously can't uphold the 48-hour thing anymore, which is fine. But
Yeah.
understandable. But I just think it's funny that they like went out of their way to update that, but still haven't done anything to update the actual site so people can follow online. But hey, what are you going to fucking do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of fucking waiting around all week to have somebody send me a measly $600 check, which is what they're offering for unemployment benefits for self-employed people, my brother came home and he was like, dude, Matt wanted to know if you were serious about maybe driving there again because they need drivers. Because 2 weeks ago when I was talking about it, when this whole thing first happened, I think they were worried about not being able to have enough shifts at there. So I didn't want to like go in there and be like, yo, Matt, can I get some shifts? Because obviously their main priority is going to be to fucking give shifts to the people that already actually work there, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But apparently,
Oh,
and
dude,
I
I'm
did
sure
notice,
their business is fucking booming.
oh, dude, it really is.
Fucking
It's crazy.
delivery, and it's like $6 medium pizzas, bro. Come
Dude,
on.
oh yeah, it's fucking
That's like
crazy.
a quarantine meal.
I'm amazed that they're able to somehow bypass the whole essential thing because like every other restaurant that I see is closed. Like Subway's
Yeah,
closed.
but every delivery place is still open.
Oh,
Like, I mean,
okay.
dude, every pizza place, there's like Domino's is still open. Fucking Papa John's, all that shit's still open.
See, that's interesting because there are certain places like Fodat Tan, which is I know for a fact that they don't deliver because I've tried to ask and they said no. But
Actually somehow Alex got delivery from there one time. Like when we were at when I was living at Alex's place.
I think
He
with
got it
those
delivered
types,
sometime. I don't know
I
how.
think with those types of places,
Maybe like Postmates or something.
I think it's usually a situation where they're like, yo, you know, we're not getting any orders today. Can one of our fucking random ass cooks just drive this out to this dude who lives a block away and just like, you know.
Yeah, true.
That's how Catmandu Kitchen is. Like, I'll literally
I
call
mean,
delivery.
But you're a fucking block away. They should do it to you.
Yeah, but she didn't give me a chance to tell her where I was. As soon as
Gotcha.
I said delivery, she was like, no delivery, pickup only. And I was like, you didn't give me a chance to tell you where I live. Did I live across the street? You can't just walk it over? Damn. So like, but I bet now, I mean, like, if I were a business, I'd be like, yo, if you're telling me all I have to do to stay open is have delivery, I'd fucking just hire some fucking drivers or just carry shit out myself, you know? But I did notice my first shift at Seasons was yesterday, and there was just something off. It was fun, it was cool, and like I made good money because, like I said, like they're booming because everybody's getting delivery. I mean, they're not booming, but they're doing fine. You know, they're doing just as well as I remember. Like they get busy and stuff like that. And I was like, something's off. And I went home and talked to Dom. I was like, what's up with? And he was like, blah blah blah. And I was like, you know what I think it is? There's no Nepalese people there anymore. All the drivers, all the delivery drivers were like these Nepalese guys. There was like Raju, Rajendra. Apparently, they were all made to not work during this quarantine by their wives. So all their wives, they're all like a family unit type of thing. I don't know how their culture works. But like all their wives are like, you are not working. And so like all the Nepalese drivers, which is like primarily their driving staff at Seasons, are just fucking not allowed to work by their wives.
Dude,
and
no wonder they need fucking drivers.
Yeah, so that's why like Dom came home the other night, was like, yo, Matt wanted to know if you were actually serious about the whole driving thing. And I was like, yeah, I just didn't want to ask because I didn't want to infringe on the people that work there. And he was like, no, we need drivers. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, sign me up. I fucking texted Matt. I was like, yo, Dom tells me you're looking for drivers. I'm down. And he was like, yeah, sure, apply online. And I was like, are you fucking with me? And he was like, no, like, I need you to apply online so I have your social and shit like that, get you on the payroll. I was like, whatever, man, fuck you. So then I fucking did that. I took like a fucking test for references. I was like, you, dude, you're my fucking reference. Matt and Pete, call yourself. You know me for fucking 10 years. And so I worked the very next day and made good money. And, you know, Sean called me up today, my friend Sean, who was the insurance adjuster and stuff like that, and obviously they're all shut down. Nobody wants to have people come in and out of their fucking house to do claims and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
So he's out of work, and he was like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, he texted me. He was like, yo, are you working at Seasons again? And I was like, yeah, dude. He was like, yo, blah, blah. We talked on the phone for like 20 minutes, and he texted Matt, and now he's working there again. I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
dude, it's the fucking reset, bro. Like, everything is going back to basics. It's fucking awesome.
Damn.
It's cool, and like I feel so much better now because I don't even count the money I make on these shifts, dude. I'm just happy that some type of income is coming in.
Yeah,
it's so
exactly.
stressful to just be fucking sitting on your ass for 3 weeks at this point with no income stream whatsoever and just watching your bank account just go down and down and down and sitting there being like, okay, how much longer can I fucking do this? When the fuck is this check coming in? And even when it does, it's not going to be enough. So I'm going to need to do something. And so now I have this. And I feel very blessed to have a relationship like that with someone who's able to put me in a position of you know, being able to do something about it, you know, which is why I always stress that I think the most important aspect of life is just being a good dude. Because the fact that I didn't burn those bridges and the fact, you know, I've worked in the service industry for a long time before I did music, and I knew so many people that they would, you know, they'd put in their 2 weeks and then just not show up the last week and just stop and just basically give like a big middle finger to a place that they've worked for like years, you know, and then they go out and get
that
their
has been like affording them their lifestyle for
Exactly.
however long they abused that.
And then they get their fucking, you know, they work in a server and then they get their quote unquote real job, you know, and then they go, fuck this place, dude. I'm fucking out of here, dude. I'm fucking good. And, you know, I've seen so many of them, the ones who were smart enough to not burn those bridges, come back after 6 months because they realize, shit, I'm making less money at this dumbass desk job as opposed to straight cash tips and shit like that. And I fucking hate it. And then even the people that do leave, like, you know, this shit happens, stuff that you can't plan for. And now the thing that I've been making a living doing for the past 3 years is not available to do. But because I maintain that relationship, that's always one phone call away. And it's a beautiful fucking thing. And that wouldn't have been the case if I was a fucking dick, you know? So don't be a fucking dick because you never know what's going to happen. This is the kind of shit, this is, like I said, we were talking about last week, dude. This is one of those moments in history, moments in life that proves that. So... but yeah, it's chill, dude. I like driving. I wasn't a driver 4 seasons when I was working. I was like a bartender, manager, everything else.
You were a driver for Owings Mills for a little bit.
For like a month, which wasn't quite as cool because like I didn't really know anybody there.
Yeah.
And also I wasn't as familiar with the area, so it was like much more stressful. just trying to get around and not knowing like what roads to take to get places. Like I started to figure it out after a month, but like for the most part, it was just, dude, delivery driving is a different level of stress because you're not only dealing with like being behind, but you're dealing with traffic. So it's like running late for your job 60 times a day.
Oh, dude, right now it's probably fucking plush, though. No one's out.
That's what I'm saying. Right now is perfect because, A, I'm in Towson, so I know, like, half the times I get an address, I'm like, I don't even need to pull it up on my phone. I just go, like, fuck it, dude, I know how to get to fucking 530 Brook Road. Easy money. And so I fucking drive. There's no traffic. Dude, I'm fucking whipping. I almost flipped my car yesterday delivering a fucking chicken Caesar sandwich to fucking Hampton Lane. Like, and there were these, I was like, I was like cracking up because I was like, holy shit. I'm fucking flying down Hampton Lane at like 2 to 3 p.m. fucking delivering this Caesar wrap, and I turn on a gypsy lane off of that road, and there's these two people in this corner house just on their porch on lounge chairs drinking, and they just hear my car go skirt, fucking pulling up and just flying down the road, and I just see them drinking beers and looking at me like, what the fuck
fucking
is
raising
this?
their glass, like, hey.
Cheers, brother. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like, dude, this delivery is not that serious, but I'm fucking out here just fucking listening to talk radio, fucking flying,
You're
dude.
fucking whipping to talk radio. It's not even like some like turned up music or anything. You got fucking C4 in the background. Now Governor Larry Hogan.
I thought, like, dude, I have to be, if they were tracking cars that are listening to this station right now, I have to be going the fastest of any car. I wish they had that. Like, of all the people listening, first of all, I'm definitely the youngest. I'm definitely going the fucking fastest, dude. And I'm definitely the only pizza delivery guy. For
That's
sure.
so fucking sick, dude.
It's dope, dude.
Yeah, I'm
it's
fucking jealous.
It's just like it's kind of chill because I don't mind driving around in Towson, and like people are taking it like really fucking seriously. Like there's a lot of people that I've walked up to their house and they're like through the door they're like, just leave it on the porch, just leave it on the porch. And I'm like,
yeah, I bet.
all right, bro, and stuff like that. But everybody's tipping big too. People are fucking going ham on the tips.
Yeah, man.
Like,
They're not going out to bars. They got so much fucking extra money.
mm-hmm.
Like regular ass people who are still buying food delivery, they like can't give their money away fast enough. They're fucking subbing to like 20 OnlyFans accounts. They're fucking because dude, they can't go out and buy like $10 fucking vodka tonics anymore.
Exactly. It's like, dude, I'm saving so much money by making my own gin.
Exactly.
All this
dude.
extra fucking guap to spend. But it's been, I mean, it's cool, dude. I'm gonna get another beer real quick, but one second.
Go for it, man.
I should just keep the beer next.
I'm gonna load up the video you sent over.
Cool.
I'm gonna get that popping. Alrighty. So far, it looks like some fucking crypto thing. I'm still not sure who sent this in. Jimmy said someone sent this in to us so we can watch and review it.
Awesome, dude. I can see it on the screen. That's sick. You can pull back to the beginning if you want. He timestamped it for some reason here, but I thought, yes, I got one in the chamber now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, but real quick,
Fast
just
money, baby.
introduction to this. You can let this app. Shit.
But hey, yo, so what's going on?
Hey, yo, what's going on? That's how you know that whatever you're about to watch is going to be informational as fuck.
Chico Crypto, dude. I'm liking the name already. And he has a peace sign weed shirt on.
Love it, dude.
So wait, who sent this in?
So I'm going to pull it up right now. But this was, so last week I've been experimenting with a lot of different things, just trying stuff out. If anybody,
you're sending this guy some fit pics. You're sending him gym mirror selfies.
Like I said, we're trying a lot of stuff out, people. So don't fucking get testy. But this week, if anybody's not subscribed to the Live from the Studio YouTube, highly recommend it. We post the full episodes there after we do the live stream. We put the full episode up on Tuesday morning. We also have clips from the show clips. Try to put them out one every day at 5 p.m. So that's LFTS podcast, or just search Live from the Studio. We're like pretty far down in the fucking search things. Like you literally have to type in like every fucking possible keyword just to get us to come up. Like
Yeah.
Live from the Studio.
I mean,
Eric
it's
Glazer,
kind of like
Jimmy
a
Selesky.
generic name, so I guess
Yeah.
that doesn't help. But
Yeah, I thought maybe we were being shadow banned, but that's much more reasonable. Shadow banned for being too shitty. But yeah, that's much more reasonable now that I think about it. But anyway, so this week I experimented with subtitling and doing some captions and took a little 3-minute clip that I thought was, relevant to the stuff going on right now. And I posted it up to no avail, but we did get one guy commenting on it. And the video itself was about one of the topics we addressed last week was the whole thing that I keep harping on, which is how long can we sustain this shutdown? What are the adverse effects of the virus compared to the adverse effects on what happens to our economy if we, depending on how long we go. So I posted that little clip up, and we had this guy named, and I don't know how to pronounce this name at all. It's spelled Vangjel. I'm going to say Vangel _ Frasheri. I think that's Frasheri. So Vangel Frasheri. And he commented on the video and said, the stimulus package is a front. The mainstream media focus on $2 trillion, which, by the way, only a fraction is going to the people in the form of a $1,200 check. The rest of it is divided among distressed business, $500 billion, and then small business, $367 billion. There is $4.5 trillion going to big banks and Wall Street. Also, a mass printing of money will cause an even bigger problem later. And I found that interesting because I didn't know. When he says something like, I'm familiar, everybody's familiar with the $2.2 billion or trillion stimulus package, but I wasn't aware of the whole, the $4.5 trillion that he's talking about. So, we replied back and forth, and it wasn't a debate at all, which is the coolest thing, I replied from my personal account, so I didn't have to fucking sign everything as Jim. Jim, which is the only time I'll ever address myself as Jim, is when I'm doing that. But, so we went back and forth, and at the end, I was like, hey, man, send me some links to the stuff you're talking about because I'm interested to learn more, and maybe we can dive into it on the next podcast. And so here we are, and this is the link he sent me, so let's tune it up, and we can probably pause throughout and talk about shit. But this is a video by a guy named Chico Crypto, which I believe this is a cryptocurrency podcast primarily. I think they talk about like Bitcoin and all the other bullshit. I don't know anything about that stuff, but I think that's...
The scary truth of the stimulus bailout.
Now, when did this video come out, by the way?
March 26th.
March 26th. So pretty still relevant.
Pretty standard.
Yeah,
let's get a whipping.
Viewers of the Tube, my name is Tyler, and welcome to the channel that feels like pulling this up after the Fed and the U.S. government announced a multi-trillion-dollar stimulus package.
Excellent production.
And the money printer goes... You know our inflation. It's time for Chico Crypto.
All right, so far, I'm giving this guy a 2 out of 10.
Yep, they did it. The
3 being the highest.
Sticky politicians of the U.S. have come to a deal regarding an economic stimulus plan. CNN broke the news. White House Senate reached historic $2 trillion stimulus deal amid growing coronavirus fears. Well, here's the thing, people. Mainstream media like CNN, they are basically trying to hide $4 trillion of this package. Yeah, the package is $6 trillion in actuality, of which $4 trillion is for the QE, quantitative easing from the Fed. Let's hear what Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell had to say about the news.
Well, Madam President, I have an update for the information of all senators and for the information of the American people, and it's good news. It's good news for the doctors and nurses in emergency rooms around the country who are waiting for more masks and more funding. It's good news for families all across America. At last, we have a deal. After days of...
All right, so if this is actually true, this dude's a pretty good actor saying all this crazy stuff.
What do you mean?
It's like, we got a good deal. We got a good deal. Good news coming.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you
Yeah.
about 2 trillion, but not the other 4.
Through intense
Yes.
discussions, the Senate has reached a bipartisan agreement on a historic relief package for this pandemic. It will rush new resources onto the front lines of our nation's healthcare fight, and it will inject trillions of dollars of cash into the economy as fast as possible to help American workers, families, small businesses, and industries make it through this disruption and emerge on the other side ready to soar.
Yes, in it, he pretty much admits that, yes, it's more than just the $2 trillion we are seeing in the headlines. So what exactly is this stimulus and what does it contain? Well, as of yesterday when I was writing the script for this video, the full text details of the bill were yet to be released. But from prior information and more that was leaked, we can get a general idea.
Dude, he's scripted. That's a 1 out of 10 now.
Yeah, it's definitely scripted.
Scripted, dog.
So the $2 trillion you keep hearing about in the news headlines is direct cash stimulus payments to groups or individuals in the USA. Let's break down where this $2 trillion is going. And let's start with who gets the most direct cash money. You would think the citizens of the USA would be the ones getting the most, right? Wrong. It's the corporations who have already been
Damn, Shaq's getting all the money, bro.
Wow. Shaq, dude.
Shaq is getting all the fucking money.
given
The
a
fucking
golden
Shaq
spoon earlier
package.
in the week through corporate bond bailouts. Well, now they get a direct cash stimulus too. $500 billion, $500 billion. A quarter of that stimulus is going directly to distressed corporations, like the airlines, like the hotels, like the cruise ships, like Trump's nightclubs under corporate umbrellas. Yep, they already got bailed out on the bond level, and now they are getting a bulk of the direct cash. Yay! So what group is next? It has to be the general population, right? Wrong. They are following trickle down for some reason still, and it's small to medium-sized businesses that get the next bulk of the money, $367 billion to be exact. Finally, we get to the citizens of the USA. Those are
Well,
the
hold up.
ones who are going
Pause
to be
here.
struggling the most.
This is
Go
the
for
thing
it.
that kind of, and so far, look, I'm not, you can tell this guy as you progress through the video, he's not a partisan guy. He's kind of like the government's all bullshit, both parties are bullshit type of thing, which I
for
respect.
sure.
You know, I'm much more inclined to listen to somebody if I feel like at the very least they're coming from a neutral perspective where they're gonna not take one party side over the other. It makes it much more palatable to me. However, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week, which is the interpretation or the perception of what business and corporations are within our economy. You can tell that this guy, when he says the first, the primary amount of the bailout is going towards the corporations, and then he lists like the big ones like Boeing and
Shaq.
and Shaq and all these guys like that, and he's not also addressing that those things also, for instance, Seasons Pizza, the place that I'm currently working at right now, the only place that's still open that I can actually get a job at to sustain myself, they got a loan. They got approved for a loan.
Yeah.
There's plenty of businesses that are able to continue keeping their doors open throughout this entire shutdown and able to fucking make ends meet because this bailout, and this is the thing he keeps on saying that you would think this is going to go to the citizens, you would think this is going to go to the people, but
People run businesses and small businesses.
Yeah, people like
people
it's
work for businesses.
Yeah,
Like the
people-
thing that's fucked up is like we're in a situation now where we're really seeing the kind of like death knolls of the healthcare system, where like everyone's been trying to fight back against Medicare for all and Bernie Sanders and the idea that Medicare should just be a human right and free to the general public. And what we're seeing now is 6 million people filed for unemployment in the last week or two. Most of
Yes.
those people had healthcare tied to their jobs. Now we're going into a viral pandemic where potentially 6 million plus people could have been pushed off their insurance.
yeah.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue, and the thing that I think is what's kind of, what stands out to me is he's not coming at it from that perspective. He's coming at it from a perspective where he's only looking at the 1,200. Like as he goes through, the first two so far that he's listed have been What again? I hate the term bailout because I don't think it should be considered a bailout when the government comes in and says, "Hey, you are not allowed to operate." That's a big difference from saying, "Hey, you fucked up." Completely without us having anything to do with it, you just fucked up. Like for instance, like with the 2008 bailout, I think that's much more
that's a
deserving.
bailout. This is more
Yeah.
of a stimulus. Even though they tried to portray that one as a stimulus, this is more of a stimulus because
Exactly.
in 2008, the government didn't say, "Hey, let's fucking tank the housing market." That just happened because of bad corporate business.
Let's just tell banks
that
they're not
was
allowed
like
to
bad
fucking
shit. But
Yeah,
now
so-
it's the government being like, "Hey, if you have a job, you literally can't do it because we're
Yeah.
vastly underprepared for this shit that's going on right now."
I think compensation is a better word. If you come in and tell somebody like me, "Hey, we're shutting down all the bars," and that business that you were running playing at bars is no longer able to operate like by law, you're not bailing me out. I didn't fuck up. I didn't lose my gigs. I didn't do anything wrong. The government came in and said I'm not allowed to do what I do for a living out of fucking nowhere, and then now they're talking about extending loans to those businesses because they shut them down. I don't think the terminology of bailout is appropriate.
I do hate the idea of them making them loans, though. I know
Yeah,
I know Hogan has been saying like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. These are loans that can be forgiven if you don't fire your employees. Like, use this for payroll.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
I think-
loan, quote unquote, but keep people employed and it'll be forgiven.
yes,
I don't think that's true everywhere, but
Yeah,
at least
I think
that is kind of like a step in the right direction. And I know they're also doing like grants and like small business grants up to like
Yeah.
$10,000 or something. And
Yes.
a grant isn't a loan. A grant is just money given. So
Yes.
hopefully they just do more of that. I don't know. We can
Yeah,
get
I
back
hope
into
so.
this if you want.
Yeah, I was just going to say one more thing. The next thing that he's going to get into is after he lists the first two, which were the corporations and the businesses, and then the second one was distressed
Spoiling
businesses.
this for me, dude?
Yeah, go on to it next. Play it, play it, play it, play it,
Who
play
are
it.
going to be living paycheck to paycheck and need the direct cash stimulus the most out of everyone? Well, we get $250 billion. And if we took the entire population of the US, nearly 328 million, and divided it by that stimulus, each citizen would be getting a whopping $762. Now, I know some of the population is children and some won't be getting payments due to illegal status and more. But seriously, guys, this is peanuts and it's a slap in the face to the American public. But the next biggest amount of direct stimulus
Okay,
is
pause
very
here.
interesting. The same
So number 3 on the list after businesses and distressed businesses is the direct cash payment. And he addresses that as the first real bailout to the people, which, as we discussed earlier, is not the case. He's talking about, I like how he first introduces that if you take the total amount devoted to that, which whatever amount, and then he divides it by the U.S. population, the straight up U.S. population, which includes people that already weren't working, kids, everybody, illegals and stuff like that. First of all, there's only, and then he like basically negates his own point by saying, well, we also understand that like certain people don't qualify for this. First of all, a lot more people don't qualify than just illegal people. People that made over a certain amount of money don't qualify for it. One of my friends, actually a couple of my friends that made over, I don't know what the limit is. I think it's like 90 or 95, but there is a cutoff point where if you made over a certain amount in the previous tax year, you don't get the $1,200. So that whatever $1 billion that they approved, and it's $1,200 to all the people that qualify. And as far as a direct cash
I think
injection,
it's like $500 a kid too, right?
yeah, sure. I don't even know what the exact specifics are, but as
think
far
that's
as the
what it
numbers,
is.
yeah, as far as the numbers have been presented, you also have to think about it. Direct cash injections are far less helpful to people in the long term as opposed to keeping the business that employs them alive. $1,200 is what, 2 weeks of pay for the average American? If you take
but
if you
also,
take them
like, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a step in the right direction. I think like Bernie has a better platform of doing like the fucking $2,000 every
Yeah.
fucking month or whatever it is. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
And I don't-
I do think it is a good step.
It's definitely
like.
it's definitely a good step. I mean, absolutely, a direct cash payment is necessary. I can't wait to get mine. I'm sure you can't wait to get yours.
I think
But-
next week, right? I think it's
Yeah, I
coming
hope
this
so.
week.
But the only I guess the only point that I'm raising is that that's the first thing after he blew through the first two, saying that they were all for bad shit, and then it takes them to get to the number 3 in the list before it actually helps the people. It's like, dude, are you seriously saying that fuck it, $1,200, $1,700, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, whatever the direct cash payment is to people in the long term is far less beneficial than saying, hey, dude that works at this company, when this is all over, that company that you worked for is still going to be in business and you're going to have a job. Because if you gave me $2,000 right now, and then with the caveat that we didn't give any to the business that employed you, so like, yeah, try to make this $2,000 last as long as you can, because you're going to not have a fucking job after all this. Like, the fact that the direct cash injection is the only thing that he's looking at as something that's beneficial to the people is kind of what I'm calling out. I agree that all of it's good, but he's only saying that that's the only good thing. So, yeah.
All right, I'm going to keep moving.
Yeah, keep it spinning.
Same amount, $250 billion for unemployment insurance. So that tells me they expect unemployment to surge and Americans to suffer, which falls directly in line with Steve Mnuchin.
It's kind of a weird setup for this.
Yeah.
Because he's
it's
like, and get this, they're also putting money into unemployment. And it's like, well, yeah, people.
Yeah, that goes to the people.
People
Where do you
need
think that
that
goes to?
money. All right,
Yeah,
keep
right.
going.
Leaked words when speaking to the Senate last week that unemployment could surge to 20%. Finally, some of the areas of public service that need stimulus the most get the least. State and local governments are only going to receive $150 billion in direct stimulus. And as sad as this is, only $130 billion is being given to the warriors on.
Okay, but corporations, businesses, and citizens are countrywide.
And then unemployment
State
too.
and local, and unemployment is like it's all countrywide. Well, unemployment is through states.
Exactly. So they're
that
giving
goes
that to the states.
That's just a specified different number than. It's not like we're giving 150 billion to state and local governments and unemployment's in that. We're giving
400
250.
billion.
Yeah. But then that's all spread across 50 states.
Yes.
And I guess like to bigger states get bigger portions.
Yeah,
or
I'm sure it's
whatever.
all based off of population and shit like that and need.
Hospitals at the bottom is pretty wild though.
The front
Yeah,
line of
and
this
again,
fight.
like,
the
yeah.
hospitals, they get the least. Now, the ranking ladder of the stimulus amounts shows exactly where this administration's priorities are, as we didn't speak about the $4 trillion other dollars. Well, that is left for the Federal Reserve, who is going to keep doing what they have been doing. Repo operations with the banks. Yes, the banks are the Fed's priority. I mean, even before the pandemic, the banks were losing it. They pumped over $6.6 trillion into the repo markets by late January 2020. And what has happened since? Well, these repo operations are public. We can go to the Federal Reserve's website and filter since January 27th to as of yesterday, March 25th. And we get all the repo operations that have been performed since then and their values. We can then export to Excel, open it up, get all the accepted repo operations, copy it to Google Docs since I'm not paying for Excel, and finally sum it all up. And what do we get? $2,168 billion more dollars, or $2.168 trillion. So banks already were getting the bulk of the benefits, and they are going to get more, confirmed by Jerome Powell earlier this week, when they announced they would be offering $1 trillion per day in repo operations until the end of this month, and maybe into April. Now, that doesn't mean that the banks will be borrowing $1 trillion every day, but this limit is so large it basically guarantees unlimited liquidity. And that $4 trillion of the $6 trillion package is for these guys. And where this money is going follows the elite's pyramid of control.
So Paul's here.
Banks are the top.
Because we're getting into dangerous territory
Great
here.
place to
now.
pause, bro.
Yeah, I like this here. So this is where we kind of dove into what Vangel was talking about, which he was talking about this other $4 trillion that was unaccounted for in the package. Now, something to keep in mind, and again, I just did a lot of research, or as much, not a lot of research, but a little bit, like an hour and a half of just watching.
You watched this video.
Yeah, I
before
watched
the
this video,
podcast.
and then I watched a couple of the other videos just to kind of like figure out what some of the terminology he was using and exactly what he was talking about. First thing
Yeah, what's a repo?
Yeah, I was going to get into that too. But before I do, just real quick, the Federal Reserve is not a government-run agency. The Federal Reserve is a privately run bank, a central bank, which I don't know what kind of oversight the government has over it, but I don't believe it's a lot. And
They have
and the
zero.
government does not.
That's how they're able to just like, play with the
Yes.
currency. Like even in a situation like this is because like they don't have to audit the Federal Reserve, so they don't even have to know how much money they actually have or how much they printed or where stuff goes or
Yes.
So
the
go ahead.
Federal Reserve is not their policies, and what they're doing is not necessarily something that you could say is a policy of the government. So when he's saying this
I'm gonna
stimulus,
grab another beer real quick.
But
I'm gonna go speaker mode,
cool. So
so I can hear you still.
yeah, perfect. So the Federal Reserve is doing. By the way, is the video? Yeah, I guess this is fine. We can just pause it on here. But the Federal Reserve is doing things on their own inclination. So to say that the $4 trillion that he's speaking of, which I'll get into in a little bit later, which exactly when that started and where that's coming from, is not something that you could necessarily attribute to government policy. That's Federal Reserve policy. And then to go back to the question that you asked, which is the other thing that I also wasn't aware of, which is what is a repo operation? And a repo operation actually stands for a repurchase operation, or what they call a repurchase agreement.
So like stock buybacks or something
Actually,
like
yeah,
that?
actually,
or-
dead the fuck on. That was a good ass
Okay.
guess. So basically, the way it works is
I mean, I guess that makes sense because it's like repossession.
yes.
It's like repo.
Yeah, and that's the
man.
first thing that I was wondering too. I was like, repo, that sounds like repossession, but I watched a couple of videos on it that were very good at explaining it, and I'm glad that I didn't take down the fucking names, and I wish I could shout them out, but there are a couple good videos on YouTube if you type in like, what is a repo thing, people really explain it in good terms. But essentially what it is it's an overnight loan that essentially consists of banks going, like if you're an investment bank, for instance, you make all your money by making investments in certain things, and you have certain deals that go back and forth and shit like that. And
Yeah, it's like all speculation.
yes, and they
stuff.
get their leverage funded by commercial banks. And so a bank like Lehman Brothers or Bear Stearns, which I'm using as examples because those are the guys that were like the big culprits in the 2008 crisis. They make their they at the end of the day, let's say, hey, I owe this guy owes me $1 million tomorrow, but I owe this guy $1 million tonight. So so most of these deals, these loan agreements are literally, they call them overnight loans, what a repo operation is, which is you're literally paying it back within like 48 hours is the average. They're usually pretty quick, and it's basically saying like, hey, I owe this guy $1 million now, and I don't get my $1 million from that guy until tomorrow, so can I cop $1 million from this bank real quick, pay them, and then I'll pay you back tomorrow. And essentially the way it works is, it's like a collateralized deal. So they would say, usually they'll trade securities. So they'll go, the investment bank would go to the commercial bank and say, hey, I need $1 million. And as collateral, which is basically saying so that you have, that you can ensure that you're going to get this money back, here's these securities, here's these like bonds or whatever like that, so that you can hold on to those while I hold on to your $1 million, and then I'll pay off my debts. And as soon as I get the money from the guy that owes me, I'll pay you back $1,000,001 or whatever it is, $1,000,001, $1,000,100,000, like whatever they agree to. And then so the commercial bank holds on to your assets while you get their liquid money. You pay off your debts, you get your money back and pay them back overnight. Normally that type of loan goes down between an investment bank and a commercial bank, which the commercial bank is in the business of giving loans to not just people with mortgages and people with businesses and stuff like that, but also these investment banks who are making all these deals. And so normally that's how it happens. Now, when people are less confident in the stock market, meaning that if I'm going to go to you and say, hey, dude, I need $1 million, and as collateral for this $1 million loan, I will give you, let's say, if this was 2008, I'll give you these CDOs, these collateralized, like basically this bundle of mortgages that I have. So you get to take on my debt, basically. Like all these people owe me all this money for mortgages, but that's not liquid money. That's just money that's owed to me. So now you own that money that's owed to me, which means you're going to get all that money, and I hold on to the liquid money, and then I pay you back, and we get it back and forth. If the commercial banks don't think that that's a good deal, i.e., if they realize that nobody's paying their mortgage, they're going to be like, dude, I'm not going to give you $1 million for you to give me a fucking bundle of loans that are going to default. Fuck that. So I'm not going to give you money, which is then what happens is now all these investment banks aren't able to pay off their debts because they need liquid money. If they have a debt that's due tonight, it doesn't help that they have $1 billion owed to them next week. They need to pay back their debt tonight. That's how it works, I guess, from what I'm learning. It's also, before we get further into it, it's also important to understand as kind of, deviant as this sounds when you say banks and money and investment, it is important to understand that on a certain level, this shit is necessary. Like if you're trying to buy a house, unless you have $200,000 of cash in your fucking bank account, you're not getting a house without a bank to fucking give you that loan. You're not starting a business and getting a fucking walk-in freezer and a stove set up and getting a fucking liquor license and all that extra shit.
All that shit. Yeah. Fire inspection.
Yeah, the fact that credit exists is often looked at as this evil, bad thing, but it's the reason why most people have a car. It's the reason why people have houses. It's the reason why people have the shit that they want without necessarily having all that cash money in their bank account at once, and also not having to evaporate all of that at once. And, even if you did manage to save up $200,000 to buy a house in cash, guess what? Now you have a house and $0 in your bank account. So before we go further down the trail, it's also important to recognize that on a certain level, these things are necessary. It's just a matter of the how far it's taken and how it's played by the system. One second.
Keep going?
Play.
World Resource Control, and thus they will get the bulk of the stimulus. But look who is right below the banks. Corporations, and they got the second most. The peanuts to the hospitals, who can be considered education in this pyramid, and then to the governments, and finally to the citizens, aka the debt slaves. This is trickled down on steroids, aka trampled down economics. And I'm not hating on the right, the Republicans, as this bill was bipartisan.
Trampled
Both
down.
suck
I like
and are
that.
cronies, Democrats or Republicans. If you can't see that, you are a flippin' sheep. But we have sheep everywhere in this world. Even one of the most influential people in the space is, for some damn reason, the Binance butt sniffer himself, Anthony Pompliano. Literally.
All right, so you can pause here and we
just
can be
posted
done
2
with
days
this
ago.
video, because this guy, I guess I'm imagining, is primarily he's a cryptocurrency guy. So at this point, he just goes into how it affects the crypto market, which I don't fucking know anything about. I don't fucking care. As far as everything else, now that we've addressed what a repurchase agreement is, a repo operation is, like I said before, that primarily takes place between an investment bank and a commercial bank. Normally, the Federal Reserve is not involved in that. Now, when I said before, in the circumstances that people start to believe that the collateral, the securities and the bonds that investment banks are offering as collateral to the people they want money from aren't valuable assets, and those banks start to refuse to give them money, that's when the Federal Reserve steps in and says, okay, we're going to offer these repurchase agreements, which means that you're going to sell that you're going to buy bonds, or that we're going to buy securities from you, which is normally treasury bonds and stuff like that, which is just an investment in the U.S. currency. So now basically the Federal Reserve is giving these loans to these banks for up to $4 trillion worth of things. So it's not necessarily they're just giving these banks $4 trillion. They're basically saying, hey, you have been approved to buy these stocks from us for that amount of money in exchange for this money, so you can, take care of your assets and then pay us back. So that's what they call quantitative easing, which is when the Federal Reserve steps in when the actual market comes to a standstill, and then they're trying to keep it going. You know what I mean? So to call it, so it's essentially they approved a $4 trillion loan deal to these big banks. It's not just free money. Again, I don't know and the reason for that is actually they had, after the 2008 financial crisis, in the new policies, they put what's called limited capital requirements, which means that now these investment banks are required to keep a certain amount of actual real money in their accounts that is much higher than they were before to ensure that they're not just completely leveraging themselves out with no actual real money, you know?
Yeah.
So now these banks are essentially, whereas maybe you didn't need all that much money in your actual coffers to make business, now they're saying like you need X amount of dollars in your reserves. And so the money that you would have normally used to pay off your debts, you can't use now because you need to have that on hand. So that's when the Federal Reserve stepped in and said, okay, well, instead of loosening up those restrictions like we did in 2008 and allowing banks to just fucking empty their accounts completely and be completely leveraged out with no real money, no liquid money, now instead of doing that, I think it's actually a good idea to say, no, you still need to have that reserve to make sure that you're actually a real valuable business. But now we're allowing you to borrow money from us this way, you know? So that could be argued as, would you rather have it be a situation where banks completely leverage themselves out down to $0 in real money and then completely plummet and fail and tank the entire economy? Or would you rather have the Federal Reserve step in and say, no, you're not going to fucking do that. Instead, you're going to fucking borrow money from us. It's kind of like that. At that point, you could kind of debate it. I'm just trying to clarify exactly what they're talking about. And it's also interesting, and this is what I found the most interesting. I did not know about this. This didn't start yesterday. This didn't start last week. Most of the videos that I watched about the Federal Reserve taking these actions started about 5 or 6 months ago, where the market started to kind of take this turn where people were starting to lose confidence in these investments and saying, well, you know, you're not going to be able to get money from us if all you have to offer in return are these like debt obligations that we don't even believe are going to be paid back. So the Federal Reserve has been pumping this amount of money into our market since probably like October or November. And I was wondering, is that related to the coronavirus? Were they aware that this would happen that long ago, or are these completely isolated incidents? That it's a coincidence that it just so happens that we're in the midst of a major market crash, but 5 months ago, it seems like our central banking system was preparing for it. Are they related, or is this?
I don't know. I think it's definitely like a thing of coincidence because, you know, we've been doing a bunch of like videos for, you know, big corporations for a while, and all within the last year, like most financial companies that like we were interviewing were saying like, you know, like all signs in the market point towards a recession of some sorts. Like, so we're just, you know, getting prepared for that and figuring our shit out. And then, you know, whatever, like the planets aligned and coronavirus fucking was a rising fucking Leo when the market was in a moon Virgo, and
Yeah.
I don't know what any of that means, but
So you're kind of thinking that it was maybe like a wrong time, wrong place, where we're already in the midst
wrong
of
time,
this.
wrong place, dude, and it's just global.
Now, here's if you wanted to get conspiratorial about it, and real quick, shouts out to Chico Crypto. As a result of your video, I did learn a lot, and I appreciate the information you're putting out there. There's just certain things I just like to kind of go through and kind of look at it through my lens. I also perfectly am willing to admit that you probably know a lot more about this shit than I do. But I'm glad that, you know, now I can at least have some type of reference on what the fuck I'm talking about. And everybody, you know, after hearing that information, you can assess your own opinion of what I don't necessarily agree or disagree with what they're doing, because I don't think that I'm in a position to make that stand. But, you know, it's important that you at least know what the fuck he's talking about when you say repo operations and when you say corporations and when you say stimulus and when you say bailout, because if not, then whoever's presenting you the information can spin it and make it sound they're doing this and that. And you know what the fuck he's saying when he does that. All you know is apparently repo operations are bad and apparently corporations are bad and apparently this and apparently that. If you at least have some type of perspective on what's actually going on, then you can form your own opinion. So
Yeah,
shouts
for
out to
sure.
Chico Crypto, whatever. And I appreciate the video. And shouts out to Vongel, Evangel. DM me how to pronounce your name, because I'm going to start
Yeah.
fucking making up ridiculous shit.
Here,
But,
you want to move on to something a little more lighthearted?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing real quick as far as the conspiracy thing goes with the coronavirus. I've had a hunch, and I've been having a hunch for more and more as more people are starting to really kind of start to think twice about what's going on. And as much as I still lean in the direction that you're right, and this was a coincidence, that it just so happened that the stock market started to kind of take a turn for the worst, and people were expecting a recession for the past 6 months or whatever the fuck people are saying. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, then this virus outbreak happens. I've been thinking for a long time that I don't lean in the direction that this was a viral outbreak that was manufactured. I don't think it was planned. However, I absolutely think that it is being taken advantage of. And I absolutely think that there are
I can see that.
There are people across the world.
We definitely got fucking mukbanged though, dude.
Yes.
We got mukbanged into
What does that mean, by the way? Mukbang?
You know mukbang videos? It's just like people eating food on YouTube. It's usually like Asian people eating food. Mm-hmm. Dude, we just mukbang got us, dude.
Well,
mukbang went viral and Corona came out of it.
I can't help but think, and I hope I'm wrong, because I really want this shit to be over with, because it's more important to me to just have what I had before and have a job and be able to do what I love to do for a living than it is for me to be right about this. But I can't help but think that, like I said before, when something like this happens and it shuts down the economy and it puts a bunch of people in a position to... It's kind of the same way when people, like, in the stimulus package, everybody was kind of trying to push their own agenda, like, well, maybe we should throw this in there and make, you know, this thing also a law. And it's like, dude, why are we talking about all that shit right now? Right now, we need a direct solution to what's going on right now, and you're using this crisis as an opportunity to kind of push your other ulterior motives and agendas. Like, and that's going on in our own government, and the idea that that's not also going on around the world in governments around the world that are trying to take advantage of this situation and put the United States and other places in the worst possible position, and knowing that we're in a terrible spot right now, and knowing that this is unsustainable, and just waiting it out and doing what they can. And I also don't know how this has to do with the upcoming primary. I don't know, because there's a lot of shit that seems to be like, I was looking into fucking H1N1 and stuff like that. These are viruses that, look, I'm not a fucking doctor, as I say every fucking week, but you look at the numbers for how many people died of swine flu or bird flu or things like that, and it's vastly, vastly greater than what we've seen right now. The death rates are vastly greater. What the coronavirus has right now going for it is the transmissibility, the transmission rate, that it's so incredibly contagious.
It's so contagious to the point where, like, you know, asymptomatic carriers, some symptoms don't show until 14 days after incubation. Like, you can still be transmissible of the disease during that incubation. Like, there's just a lot of fucking shit going on with it.
It begs the question how, like, it's weird to me that all these other outbreaks have happened through, I mean, as recently as 2017 to 2018, I think it was something like 60,000 people or something ridiculous in the United States died of whatever flu it was that year. And, like, not even close. I mean, what were we talking about? Like 3,000 right now? 3,000 deaths or 3,000 cases? What did you say earlier?
That was just in Maryland, though.
Yeah, that was just in Maryland. So 3,000 in Maryland. I don't know what it's at across the country.
It's like fucking going off in New York right now. Like, dude, they're having like 3,000 new cases a day.
It just seems weird, like, the degree that we're taking this as compared to, like, okay, maybe this is the worst of all of them. I'm willing to concede that. Surely the coronavirus is probably the worst viral outbreak we've seen, worse than swine flu, worse than bird flu, and I don't even know that. I'm just assuming that because of the way we're handling it. But it seems weird that we went 0 to 100 over this one thing. What measures do you remember taking when swine flu and bird flu were out in school? Did they shut down schools? Did they shut down business? Did they do any of that shit? Nothing.
But swine flu is like an easier thing to catch. Like, not like catch it like transmissibly. I just mean like it was easier to identify, and same thing with like Ebola and like Zika. Like all those things were very easy to like track down. They weren't as transmissible. And like, cause I remember like fucking someone in our grade had fucking swine flu, but like they were just fine.
Yeah, somebody in Dom's grade had it too.
Swine flu wasn't like a big bad thing.
There was one of them that it had a higher death rate among younger people than older people, because apparently the older people had antibodies for it, but it was people that were like between the ages of like teenager to 20 that were dying at like an extremely higher rate which to me is scarier because you
Yeah.
expect an 80-year-old to die of a fucking thing like that. You don't expect a 20-year-old to die of that and an 80-year-old to be fine. That's fucking weird. Yet they never did anything in our schools. I don't remember. We were in fucking school during that shit, and they didn't do anything. We didn't have a fucking day off. And it just seems
No.
weird to me that out of fucking nowhere, nobody ever gave a fuck about all those things ever at all. It was just a minor topic of conversation. It would come every once in a while. Lord Scooter made a song called The Bird Flu. That was about all I fucking heard about the bird flu. All of a sudden, this shit comes out, and now we're doing something that has never been done before in our lifetime or our parents' or our grandparents' lifetime out of fucking nowhere. And it just seems to me like maybe there's another, maybe. I'm not claiming anything. I'm just asking the question.
Where are you
Maybe
going with this, Jimmy? Where are you going with this?
There's a lot of people that would like to see this happen. And there's a lot of people that know that this might benefit their motives when it comes to the election, whether it's the Democrats trying to alter something, or the general election, or the Republicans trying to do something, or the bankers trying to take advantage of the situation, or China or Russia or these other countries. I think there's a lot of other things to consider than simply, oh yeah, there's a virus and we're just shut down.
I don't know, bro. There's been so many fucking deaths in Italy. Like, I don't think Italians had anything riding on this.
Dude,
I don't think Italians had anything to gain from this, dude.
I don't know. I did see an interesting stat about Italy actually this past week, which is that
They're
apparently
counting all of the
this is
tomato
another
vines as
video that
deaths,
was
too.
referred to me that apparently they say as much as up to 88% of the deaths in Italy, the corona deaths in Italy, could be misattributed, meaning that and that was written in like the Telegraph, not like some like weird ass, like the way they count the deaths tolls over there, like basically people that were already in the hospital or people that had other, like they say that this is something. Only 2.1% of the people that died in Italy had no other health problems. That over half of the deaths that are attributed to coronavirus in Italy had 3 or more pre-existing conditions. That's
Yeah.
kind of like to say that somebody died in the hospital and then with 3 other conditions, that's more than 50% of the Italian people that are classified as dead from the coronavirus. More than half of those died with 3 other health conditions, and to attribute that as a corona death, that's not the way it's counted in other countries. And so you also have to factor in that certain countries, everybody goes by their own system. This isn't like America where Maryland and California and Minnesota all count their deaths the same way. You're dealing with different countries. You're dealing with fucking China, who's obviously lying about shit. You know, China's saying they're pretty much over the fucking hill with it, even though, you know, you don't know what the fuck's going on over there. And you hear Italy, and you just don't know how this shit pans out. So I think there's a lot of things to think about. Again, this is all stuff. I'm not making any claims. I'm just tossing it out there.
Let's
Let's
go with something lighter. I saw this on Instagram the other day. It cheered me up in this quarantine.
They got drugs in this. It say 85% lean. They got drugs in this. It say 85% lean.
Hey.
So the video is 3 younger black kids at a grocery store holding a tube of ground turkey. And they're reading it, and it says,
They got drugs in this. It say 85% lean. I'm gonna drink some of that lean.
and it ends with one of them being like, I'm gonna drink some of that lean, and then he holds the tube up and it like cuts off. But I'm assuming he goes for the fucking drink of that tube, dude.
Oh no! That's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome.
That's been like one of my favorite new videos.
15%
seen,
fat though,
dude.
baby. You remember trans fat, dude? Is
fat.
that still a thing? Do people still have trans fat? Remember
No,
that was
dude.
like I would like look at
That's misgendering the fat, dude.
dude.
I'm just
trans
kidding.
fat, bro.
I'm fucking going crazy in this quarantine. I think trans fat's just not one of the good fats, right? I think that's like
It's like an artificial preservative or something. I don't even fucking know. But I just remember like I would look at back in high school when I was like always counting my calories
They're a
and
form
shit.
of unsaturated fat. They come in both natural and artificial forms. Natural or ruminant trans fats occur in the meat and dairy from ruminant animals such as cattle, sheep, and goats.
Ruminant. That is a rummaging species, I imagine. Right?
Yeah, I assume
Ruminant.
so.
I've definitely seen the word. It's like they're the ones with like the 4 stomachs, right?
Ruminant.
It's like cows have, like, a bunch
an
of stomachs.
even-toed ungulate mammal that
An
chews
ungulate.
the cud regurgitated from its rumen. The ruminants comprise the cattle. So I guess it's like the multi-stomach animals.
Yeah, and they like basically like regurgitate. They like eat grass and then store it in their fucking rumen, their other stomach, and they just
Yeah.
like throw it back up and just chew on it throughout the day, and then they swallow it into their main stomach.
That's why cows are always chewing.
That's a fucking gross ass animal, dude.
That's
You
insane.
can't tell me that's cool.
They just
you know
baby
they have
bird
some.
themselves all day long. Cows are just
Unfucking
big
real,
ass
dude.
chickens, dude.
Unbelievable, dude. That is fucking gross, dude. But yeah, I just remember like I think they like got rid of trans fat because I don't see it on anything anymore. I used to see it all the time.
Yeah, I
fucking-
mean, there were the big, anti-saturated fats and trans fat movement. That was like while we were in like high school, middle
Yeah.
school, maybe.
Yeah. We would
'Cause
always
I
be on the
remember
boat.
no, it's crazy. So I learned this recently. Apparently, schools have different guidelines for nutritional things. So companies like Hostess and Little Debbie's and even like General Mills and like shit, like if you like their snacks in the schools are actually different than the snacks they sell outside of schools, like nutritionally and taste wise.
I've always
Isn't that crazy? I've always thought that.
wondered
Like
that, dude.
I've never had a zebra cake as good as a zebra cake that I had in like middle school.
Dude, that
And it's
makes
because
a
they
lot of
literally were
sense.
just genetically different. Like they
Like-
weren't allowed to put as much sugar in it. They weren't allowed to put as many like preservatives in it.
Did
It's kind of
anything
fucking crazy.
did
It's crazy to think
anything
about that.
hit
Because
like
they
a
even had
Towson-
like different fucking like drinks and shit in school, and you'd never see
Yeah.
those drinks outside of school. And you'd be like, "What
Yeah,
are these
dude.
fucking things, dude? They're like prison drinks, dude." It's
Some of the
crazy.
shit I feel like was even worse, dude. I mean, like, has anything ever hit like a Towson High School vending machine, Big Texas? I mean, talk
know.
about good ass. Remember Star Crunches and fuck. You remember Star Crunches?
Yeah.
In high school, they were fucking amazing, dude. But you won't
Yeah.
catch me dead buying one from Safeway, dude.
No,
But something
and then
about-
every like once in a blue moon, you will get that pack because it's only like $2 and you get
Yeah,
like
it's not
6
even
or 8
close.
of them.
Yeah.
and they're not good, and they're not even as good.
It's like, did they make them worse in high school? Did they make them fucking worse for you at Towson High? I don't know.
No, I think they made. I just think for whatever reason, like them trying to make them healthier, and then we were like accustomed to the healthier version. So then when you actually have the real version and it's like way worse for you, you taste that it's like, oh no, this kind of tastes bad.
Dude, I want a middle school grade cosmic brownie, dude. If I could get some of those, dude.
Dude, those are the moistest brownies on earth.
Unbelievable.
Dude, they're unreal.
Unbelievable how good they were. Like, why can't I get a Dumbarton Middle School fucking hostess, dude? It's just, you can't do it.
It's
You can't
fucking
do it, dude.
crazy, bro.
Fucking
It's
go. When
crazy.
schools reopen, dude, I'm going back, dude. I'm just going to walk in, hit the Towson
Dude,
High School
if,
vending
if
machine
Bernie
every day.
Sanders makes education free, I'm going back to middle school and high school just so I can get the snacks.
But Joe Biden's making snacks free, dude. That's why.
Snacks and sniffs, dude.
the snacks and sniffs, dude. He's been really fucking falling apart too, man. I was
Dude, it's
watching.
been crazy. He's like on a wire now. He's got an earpiece in like his latest shit. Like he's got like one of those like clear Secret Service earpieces of someone like feeding him lines, like he's like cheating at the spelling bee or some shit.
That's another thing, dude. I'm just saying, bro. What if they're you were fucking talking about it a couple weeks ago, dude, about how maybe this could postpone the election and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, it's all coming true.
You don't think there's people
We've
being
been
like,
speaking gospel, baby. If
you
you,
don't think-
transcribe this shit, it'd be the New Testament.
dude, honestly, you don't think there's people that are heading that party that are like, fuck, we kind of Joe Biden? Joe fucking Biden's
yeah.
our guy?
Dude, it's
what the fuck are we
crazy.
gonna do other than
It's
fucking
wild.
basically make the election people not be able to actually ever see Joe Biden?
No, they're just gonna they're either just gonna keep hiding him, which they've been doing successfully.
Hiding
or
Biden.
Hiding Biden, baby. Sleepy Joe Hayden. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you're saying, bro.
But no, I mean, I said this a couple weeks ago, but like, you know, who knows? Like, the elections currently right now are on hold. Like, I don't think any state is going to be dumb enough to open up a primary election in person. Maybe some sneaky fucking online elections will happen. Maybe some other shit will happen. They might postpone the primaries till the end of the summer or something, and then just have a very quick primary with a general election between whoever the Democratic and then Trump. But also, what I think is probably most likely going to happen is they're going to go to the convention and then just pick a candidate from there without actually having any of the states choose. And they're either going to go with Biden, they're going to slide in their own fucking pick.
Slide in Biden.
You know, maybe they'll fucking put Hillary up as Biden's VP and then murk him on something like... Dude, he gets murked and then Hillary from Air Force One gets sworn in.
Now that is a fucking theory if I've ever heard one, dude. That would be the ultimate.
And that would be Hillary. That would be the ultimate Clinton nod to the conspiracy theorists because, you know, obviously when JFK got shot, his VP got sworn in on Air Force One. Apparently, like, Hillary Clinton sent a bunch of, like, pizzas to nurses. And, like, literally she was like, you know, you gotta help people out, but you also gotta keep those conspiracy nuts busy. And it's like, so you're acknowledging there's a weird link between you and pizza, apparently. Like, you're at least that aware.
Oh, yeah. She's fucking with it. Dude, she's always fucking with people, dude. There was nothing more, like, just enraging than when she testified before Congress about her emails. And you could just see in her face that she knew that she was untouchable. And there was nothing anyone could fucking do. There was you could just see the way that she had connections. Half the people that were fucking putting her on trial were in her fucking back pocket. That she never once, I mean, she literally, and I know this is just fucking, you know, dredging up old shit, but we've heard it 1,000 times to the point where people now, when you say the emails, they're like, shut the fuck up about the emails. But, like, dude, if somebody, I'm just looking at it from my perspective. If somebody accused me of a crime that involved me doing whatever the fuck she was accused of doing, and they said, we are subpoenaing your emails. We want to see the communications that you had. Dude, I had it
locked. They locked Chelsea Manning in a fucking box for like 8 years for basically doing the same shit.
That's what pisses me off is that other people have done that shit and actually stood trial and got the full force of the law put on them to the point where
they're
Edward
like
Snowden's
somehow giving Julian Assange Biden's fucking dementia and like. You know, Hillary, you know, she had a public email server that was definitely hacked into, but who cares?
Dude, they
her
fucking...
IT security or whatever the fuck person went on like Reddit and asked how to delete her emails, and people gave them the info how to do it.
Dude,
and it's like all traceable. It's crazy.
It's unbelievable. She literally fucking went through the furthest extent you could go to the point where there were staffers literally crushing hard drives with hammers and bleach biting shit to the point where it's like you deleted 33,000 fucking emails after you were told that you need to submit those to the court and nothing fucking happened. Meanwhile, fucking guys like Edward Snowden are harboring in fucking Russia right now and can't come back to the country because he fucking revealed some shit about the NSA, and guys like Julian Assange and guys like that.
He revealed that the stuff people have been saying wasn't happening is happening.
Exactly.
Like, people have
and
been
like
saying in front of Congress, like, no, we don't do that. And he's like, oh no, yeah, they're doing that.
And that's a weird thing. That's a weird line. I'm not gonna say like whether or not I agree with the guy.
That like definitely breaches national security or whatever. And like,
but like the
fact like, okay, so in World War II, there is an issue with national security where, like, the Japanese set mines around their country at a certain depth because they didn't know the U.S. subs could go deeper than that, so they just set it at a certain depth in the ocean. Little did they know, U.S. subs were hundreds of feet, miles beneath it, and just like getting their intelligence unharmed. A U.S. general then went on the news after that and was like, yeah, the dumb Japanese or whatever, they don't know that our subs can go 8,000 feet deep or whatever. And then literally right after that, the Japanese set all their fucking mines 8,000 feet deep and then caused so many casualties. So I understand that leaking intelligence can cause horrible things to happen.
Yes.
But
I'm just saying it should be
we're not
attributed all
leaking
around.
intelligence to enemies. He was leaking intelligence to citizens. They were spying
Yeah.
on citizens.
I'm just
We're-
looking
We're
for a-
not the enemy, dude. Like,
Yeah, I'm just looking for a common standard. Like, if you say Edward Snowden is guilty of something, fine. I don't really have an opinion on it. I'm glad I know what I know now. I think that's important information, and I think in his heart of hearts, he believed he was doing something right, and that's why he did it, and he knew it was at risk if he did it, and he did it anyway, and I can't knock the guy for that. Whether or not the legality, obviously it was illegal, fine. I don't really think either way of it. I don't really care, to be honest. I'm glad that we know. However, if you're going to do that, if you're going to prosecute somebody else to that level, everyone should be held to that standard. There should not be a class of people in this country that could do what Hillary Clinton did or do what many other people do. All kinds of people, not just the Clintons, all kinds of people have that power and they have those connections, and they are completely unfucking touchable. And people just ignore it. And people just fucking roll their eyes if you talk about it. And it's like, dude, are you not seeing what the fuck I'm seeing right now, dude? Like, she blatantly defied everything, dude. Everything, and just sat there with a fucking evil ass smirk on her face during the press conference and just said, "No, I don't recall." Like you're watching a fucking mafia movie with Robert De Niro. I don't recall. I don't recall that either. No, no. I plead the fifth. Fuck you,
dude, a Scorsese Clinton movie would be so good. Especially if he keeps in all the quote unquote suicides. Where Bill and Hillary go up to fucking Vince Foster's back in the park in DC, Boondock Saint style, and fucking tap him twice in the back of the head.
dude.
After,
Nobody's
singing
talking.
a prayer.
Nobody's talking about fucking anything else other than Corona, and I think that benefit. I think nobody's talking about fucking Epstein anymore. Nobody fucking cares.
Dude, no, you're not even talking about. And I'm
What?
kind of disappointed. I cut my hair.
Dude, you're wearing a fucking hat, bro.
I cut my fucking hair and you didn't even notice, bro.
Dude, how the fuck would I notice that, dude? You set me up, bro. You're wearing a fucking hat.
Look at all this hair I cut off.
Oh, you cut it yourself? Oh, I
cut
guess
it
so. Yeah,
myself,
damn.
bro.
It looks good. Let me see it
Thank
again.
you. Yeah.
Damn. Nice, dude.
Apparently the
Hell yeah,
back's
dude.
fucked up.
I mean, obviously, what the fuck? How else? How would it not be fucked up? is
How
my
did it
question.
not be fucked up? I did it myself. I did.
You, me, and Alex all have that widow's peak going right now. I love it.
I know.
I love
bro.
it.
I don't know if that's fireworks or guns, because I got a citizen notification the other minute, and I don't know if the helicopters picked up because there were like helicopters roaming around over
I
my
didn't hear
house for
anything,
like a minute. But it was like shots reported coming from SUV on near Hickory Ave in Hamden, and but
Crime
I
doesn't
literally
sleep,
I just
dude.
heard fucking like it was either like a nice firework that someone randomly put off during this quarantine, or like there is either a gunfight. There's a gunfight or fireworks just happening.
I'm certain that there's nothing to celebrate right now. However, now that you bring that up, you think fireworks are going to be going off when quarantine ends?
Oh,
I bet,
probably.
dude. I hope so. I
For
hope there's a
sure.
big ass fireworks show in the harbor and everything. That'd be so fun.
Dude, I'll put my own on. I don't give a shit.
Dude, yeah.
I got like a crate of fireworks right now.
That would be, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a fucking national holiday, Corona Day. The day
Corona
that we
Day,
all
Cinco de
got
Corona, baby.
freed from house arrest, fucking national house arrest, to fucking just
Dude,
light off
if
fireworks.
Cinco de
and-
Mayo goes global with coronavirus and we all just drink fucking Coronas and party, that'd be sick.
They should join up forces, dude. That'd be
Yeah.
the biggest fucking thing ever, dude.
Dude,
That'd be
Mexico
sick.
would be like certified fucking chill after that.
Certified chill.
If
We'd
they
let 'em
let
in.
people, no, dude. If Mexico is like, dude, we're letting everyone co-opt Cinco de Mayo as a celebration day after this horrible coronavirus epidemic. Everyone, let's get Corona margaritas. Let's fucking party. Let's eat some tacos. Let's be happy. It's nice outside.
I
The
would say,
virus
Mr.
instantly
Trump,
died from
Tear
the heat.
down that wall.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a fucking another weird development in my life, dude. I'm a fucking video game guy now, dude. Never thought it would happen.
Yo,
Never
fuck
thought it would happen.
boy.
We can play Xbox Live now. If you want, I have an Xbox. My brother got 2 controllers and he got the Xbox wired up. We're connected to Xbox
You got an
Live.
Xbox?
I've had an Xbox since
You have an
like high
Xbox
school.
One or a 360?
I think I have a 360.
Ah, shit. Okay. I was
Yeah,
gonna say
but-
if you had an Xbox One and you had Call of Duty, I could play with you on PS4.
I suck at those games, but I'm down. If we could figure out a way, I'd be down. I've been primarily playing UFC, like just like
I
fighting
definitely
games.
do
like-
have my 360 still.
Dude, we could do
I
that.
don't
I
know
mean,
where
I
it
got
is.
nothing else going on, but like I've been like really like I've been staying up mad fucking late and just playing UFC and like I got to the point where I was about to start like a career mode and like create my own player.
My
and it's
player.
it's such a weird thing when you're like my age or our age where it's like I'm about to create a player. Like when I was a kid, I would like create myself and like make myself
But now
be
if you
this-
make yourself, you'd fucking suck.
exactly like
Because as
I
a
gotta
kid, you could be like, I'm gonna be myself in 10 years.
yeah, like dude, I'll
But
probably
now you have to be like,
s-
I'm gonna make myself like I was at 18.
Exactly. I'm gonna make myself what I used to be. I'm not putting myself in at 27, 190 of pure muscle, 6 fucking like I didn't know. Like,
Because if you put your stats in right now, the body that would come out, you'd be like, oh, that's not what I look like. And then you'd be like, wait a second, why don't I look like that?
but it would be. That's like I had to stop. I was about to do it. Like I literally entered career mode and I was like about to type in my name and like create my player. I was like, dude, you are 27 years old. You are not going to make a fucking fake fighter of yourself that's 185 pure muscle with roundhouse kicks and fucking an excellent jab game. Like, no, dude.
Dude,
just fucking
there's
play
a
as
certain
Lyoto
part-
Machida.
There's a part in your life where you stop making yourself and start just making fake people because you can't accept the reality of what yourself would look like in that game.
Oh man, that was just a wake up call, dude. I was like, no,
It's
dude,
a
what are
wake
you
up call. You're like,
doing?
damn, dude, I guess I could never be in the UFC.
That is
I
such
guess
a
that
weird
dream's
thing.
out the fucking window.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. You got no fucking shot, dude. When I was younger, I used to look at that and be like, yeah, I could do that, dude. Fucking make myself in Madden and like fucking quarterback and
Yeah,
like
dude, the only Greek on the fucking field.
fucking
Why don't
loser,
Greek people
dude.
play fucking football? And now you're 27. You're like, oh, that's why Greek people don't play football.
Exactly. I used to get mad that there weren't more Greek people in the NFL or in anything. And then I realized, oh wait, I'm part of that. I'm part of that.
I'm part of the problem.
Part
dude.
of the problem, dude. What am I? What is my? Am I in the Am I in the fucking Ravens? No. I'm getting mad at other Greek people for not fucking showing up, and I'm part of the fucking problem, dude. There's
Damn,
no
dude.
time for me to fucking go to the NFL now. I'm done. Sorry,
Really?
NFL. I'm out of the game.
Dude, I'm so happy you're gaming. I've been gaming so much. I've been getting back into Counter-Strike so much. I got one more. So did you start watching Tiger King?
Not since I watched it with Matt and Sig.
Dude, I
I'm
watched
Through
the
2
whole
episodes.
thing. I
How'd
watched
you
the
like
whole
it?
thing. I really liked it. After episode 2, when episode 2 ends and they start throwing in the Carol killed her husband and fed him to tigers conspiracy, I was fucking in on that show, and you know that.
that. So you think she definitely did?
Oh, dude, yeah, she fucking killed her husband.
I mean, I could tell you
She's
without even
fucking-
watching the show. Carol Baskins killed her
She's a
fucking
fucking
husband, dude. I mean,
psycho, dude.
Dude, she's one of those psycho
but-
animal people, dude. Trust me, I've had a lot of fucking interactions with those people throughout my life. That is a new level of fucking psycho, and I wouldn't put it past her for a second.
Yeah,
Those people are
It's like a horse girl,
insane.
but for tigers, and it's like,
Oh my
you
God.
know that shit's getting out of control. But I had another video queued up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Thought it, it was just another little lighthearted segment.
There we go.
Just a little lighthearted segment. Let's try this guy. Does this work? Can you see that?
Attempt to start over. I shall try to start over.
Bump it down a little bit.
I salute you and the great times
I'll
we
start
had
over.
together, and I quit.
By the way, when we're talking
good?
during the video, does it
Exactly
switch
what we
between
do.
us, or does it just stay on the video?
It's a bit
I think it switches in
What's
between
so
us.
complicated about
Oh,
this
sick.
place?
Like in a little box on the screen.
Tight.
So this is Matt Damon. We
This is
bought a zoo.
That's how we
The
take
trailer.
care of ISIS right there, buddy. Hi, I'm Joe Exotic.
Man.
I'm gonna live here.
You bet your ass.
But it makes a Tiger
What
King.
kind of regular person just fucking buys a place like this? Especially somebody with kids. This is a rookie mistake. I've been with him for 13 years.
He's okay.
Come on.
I've had some of the kinkiest sex you can imagine up in the dirty bookstores, you name it, all right?
Okay, terrific.
At the risk of stating the obvious, you're insane.
You don't even need any special knowledge to run a zoo.
I don't know shit about animals.
What you need is a lot of heart.
If you have a problem with me, take it up with me.
I don't like your kids.
I'm not cutting my hair.
You are gonna love your new enclosure.
We need somebody who can take charge of this place, or else we and all these animals are gone.
I'm trying to give the kids an authentic American experience.
I can't compete with that.
If you stick with me, I will give this everything.
Well, that's good enough for me.
I think you're incredibly pretty. Please don't take offense if I don't hit on you.
Be offended if you did.
ScarJo.
I think.
You still do not. Son of a bitch just bit me.
I can't stand by and watch this happen.
One employee stuck their arm through the cage and a tiger tore her arm off. Holy shit. He's been bit by a snake.
Let him live for a couple more weeks. Get him some medicine.
That motherfucker's going in the trash.
I've been doing this 20 years, never even been bit.
We shouldn't have bought a zoo.
I'm never gonna financially recover from this.
Yeah.
That is fucking great,
Beautiful
dude.
video. I saw it from Glut Sutter. That's who I saw it from on Facebook. I don't know who actually made it, but
Glut Sutter.
that was a funny
Nice.
vid. That was a good one.
That is good, dude. That is good. I thoroughly
Dude,
enjoyed
it's
it.
fucking, that whole show is fucking crazy because, like, you know, you get into all those different personalities of people that want to have tigers around them. And for most of them, it's they want to have baby tigers around them because pretty
Yeah,
much
obviously.
everyone flocks to baby tigers. So, like, it turns out, so I know you've only seen 2 episodes in, but that one, the Dr. Bhagvagani, whatever, the fake doctor, like doctor quote unquote, because he's like a spiritual guy.
Yeah. It's a
So
shaman.
he has like a whole harem of like 6 bitches that live with him.
Nice.
You know, obviously Carol has her troubled past of, you know, rags to riches because she killed her husband who was worth millions. Obviously Joe turning out straight boys with baby tigers and meth.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, all power to him.
And then that weird, so there's like this dude that comes in later on who's like this kind of swinger money man guy who comes in for Joe. And he's like, you know, little pussy gets big pussy. And then his like partner's right there next to him, like, haha, yeah. And then throughout the series, like she gets knocked up and then like they get arrested because he has a bunch of baby tigers at his fucking Las Vegas mansion that is using to like lure women back to his room with. And like,
I mean, you talk about
Dude,
a fucking chick magnet,
it's
dude.
so
You got to
fucking
put
crazy.
Tiger Cubs up there on the list. I mean, that's
Tiger
crazy.
Cubs are up like probably number 2.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
The other one is a fully stocked fridge, baby. Here, wait. This has been also one of the videos that's been getting me through quarantine. I gotta find it. It's so fucking funny. I sent it to a group chat the other day.
find it real quick. I'm going to take a piss real quick.
All right, yeah, Jimmy's taking a piss. I'm loading this up. Mr. Shy City, baby.
Hell yeah.
Quick pick, dude, or quick piss.
That was a quick piss, dude.
Here, this is a video I've been thinking a lot about recently.
What's up, y'all? Know it's your boy Shot City, man. Yeah, now a lot of y'all, you know what I'm saying, you know I put you onto the whip game, put you onto a lot of things about the card game. You got any questions, holla at me. Right now, you know what I'm saying, you in a nigga's kitchen. Hold on, just for the moment of silence for the brand new Italian tile. Yeah, they just put this down last night. Isn't this shit cool as hell, man? Pure Italian. Alright, fuck that shit. Anyway, okay, alright. So, I was at my nigga's crib, okay, and I was trying to tell the nigga if he could just do small things to his shit, like his kitchen and his bathroom, he'll have women everywhere, dropping vagina panties all over the place. You know what I'm saying? He thought I was bullshitting. So I said, look, I'm going to do a video of just something small like my refrigerator, you know what I mean? And I'm going to show you that I'm real with the shit. Alright, hold on, one more thing. Y'all see this shit? It's a chrome garbage can. I ain't never seen no chrome garbage can. The shit's from Egypt, and it flips over like this. Ain't that some cool shit? Alright, fuck that shit. Okay, alright. So, if you have an assortment of drinks in your fridge, it's gonna open up the world. Women are gonna come over here, they're gonna be comfortable. I know it sounds silly, but I want y'all to feel me on this right now. Oh yeah, nigga made a pizza.
Oh yeah, made a pizza.
Okay, fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit.
Nah, I know a lot of y'all like, come on, man. Why you got nothing but drinks in your shit? Why you ain't got no food? I'm gonna tell you why. See, when different women come over, different women like different things, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for the mature, this real talk, for the mature chick, you know, over 30, who still drinks juice, you hit her with the Mystic. They always get Mystics. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Then, the Snapples, that's for, like, the suburban chicks. You know, they come over here, they be like, oh my God, Chai City, like, do you have anything to drink? And then I'm like, yeah, Becky, I got fucking Snapples off. Oh my God, you have so many flavors. This is crazy. I don't even know which one to take. And I'll be like, man, just whatever you want to take, yo, you know what I'm saying? Now, the vitamin water, that's for like the chicks, you know what I'm saying, who stay in shape. You know, they might come over to your crib after they leave the gym, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? The Smirnoff Ices,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's for like the chicks who, you know, it's their first time coming over here. They want to get their drink on, but they don't know you well enough to get drunk around you, so they just get their buzz on with the Smirnoff Ice. Okay, now y'all now if you're a real nigga, I ain't gotta say. The Cherry Coke, that's for the hood chicks, cause I got Flamin' Hots, and then I hit them with the Cherry Coke, they in. The Red Bull, that's really for me, I ain't gonna front, I'll be kinda tired in the morning. Then I hit them with the Hawaiian Punch, the Sierra Mist, the Pepsi. As you see, this shit goes all the way to the back, there ain't no front shit. Exactly, I stay stocked with the shit. Arizona iced tea, really for the classy, bougie hood chick, you know. She too good for the Cherry Coke, so she drinks the right, okay. Then the green tea, man, that's for the holistic, you know, vegetarian, I don't eat meat, and I'm real earthy type, you know, fucking Erykah Badu chicks, you know what I'm saying? And of course, niggas, for the hood chicks, bam, I got a draw Kool-Aid, nigga, what flavor you want? You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn, you know, I might go with the, yeah, I'm gonna get the blue one, cause as I said, okay, then we got water, again, for the in-shape chicks, you know what I'm saying? We got the Perrier water for the fucking, you know, sedity chicks, more vitamin water shit. Now, hold on, one more thing. If you a real nigga though, real niggas, you only got damn, we're throwing shit. You only got two things in your shit. Sweet Baby Ray's, nigga. Yeah, that shit's, man, on point. And then, motherfucking ranch. I mean, if shit, niggas, we don't eat blue cheese. Black people don't eat blue cheese. We eat ranch. And hey, look, my dad was over here the other day. He thought I was playing. I can't believe it's not butter, man. This shit, you could drink this shit, man, and it ain't butter. It's like butter flavored, but it ain't butter. Shit is real fucking good, man. Real talk. Now, a lot of y'all saying, well, what about, you know, for the hold on. Get money, get paid. Okay, alright, we cool. Now, sometimes the women, they bring their kids over here. You know what I'm saying? Be fucking me up, cause I'm trying to hit that ass. Right. So you know what I did, nigga? Bam! Hit them little niggas with a freeze pop. That's right, nigga. So she bring a kid over here, and I said, well, you want a freeze pop, little nigga? Cause he just gonna cock block you anyway. Hit him with a motherfucking freeze pop. All type of flavors. We got like fucking 400 in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And if you like me, every once in a while you might kick it with a big girl with a pretty face, but just a fat girl. Hit her with the pizzas, the motherfucking ice cream sandwiches. I got pretzels, Eggos, you know, hell. Well, look, I got even more shit for them. Hold on. Then you open up this. Bam! Snacks on snacks, nigga. 4, 7, 8, 9 different flavors of cereal. We got Pop-Tarts. Man, we got popcorn, toffee, wheat thins. Nigga, what you want? I told the big girl, baby, come on, get your snack on, baby. Feel comfortable. You know, you breathing heavy as hell. I know you hungry. You know, 7 different flavors of chips. We got
He's
chips
breathing heavy as hell. I know you hungry.
Now, sometimes, okay, if a girl bring her kid over to your spot, you know what I'm saying, you gotta throw him off. So that's why I'm gonna take y'all over here. Let me walk to the front room right quick. You gotta throw that little nigga off, okay? Cause he gonna cock block you cause he don't want you near his mama. So then you take the little 5-year-old kid, you say, look, little nigga, which one you wanna play? You wanna play the PS3 or the Xbox? See, that's gonna fuck him up because he ain't used to having an option. Then you let him play on the big ass screen. You see I got the PS3 on right now. So, bam, again, just the PS3, Xbox. Or if you don't want to do that, let him just watch cable on the cable Comcast box. Let him do his motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good. Well, anyway, that's all I really want to put y'all niggas on to. Have your crib set up, man, to make the girl feel good. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, she gonna be making you feel good. You niggas already know. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get my... Yeah, let me go ahead and get my thing. Oh, where my Kool-Aid at? Damn. Get my Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah, one more thing. To the makers of Kool-Aid, would you niggas stop putting the juice all the way to the top? Because when I twist the motherfucking cap, I put it, the shit explodes like a goddamn grenade. Then I got blue juice all over my white carpet. Look, man, I appreciate you trying to give me as much juice for the value, but look, put the juice, cause look, so look at this shit. See, now the juice is all at the top. You see, put the juice down here so when I open it, it don't spill everywhere, okay? Trust me, I ain't gonna miss it. You know, these motherfuckers cost like $5 for $1, okay? Thank you. Anyway, y'all know, Shot City, man. Do your thing, get your whip game proper, get your crib together, and remember, get money.
Get money, get paid.
All right, I'm out of here.
Get money, get paid, baby.
That's the moral of the story,
That's
dude.
a crucial video for these trying times.
I thoroughly agree with that. I've always said that. I've always said that having a fully stocked, at the very least, bar. You gotta have your house set up, dude. You can't bring no girl wants to come home and see your shit all fucked up, dude. See your house dirty as fuck. I hate going to somebody's house and being like, yo, I don't even feel comfortable sitting on this fucking couch, dude. There's a fucking slice of pizza in the fucking cushion. Like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Get your shit together, bro. I'm telling you what, dude. You bring a girl back to a nice, clean house. I mean, because
nice
girls,
little Santa Claus chilling on the radiator.
Oh yeah, dude. You already know, dog. You already know. Girls are always on the lookout for. They have their psycho radar is off the charts because it has to be. They can't be taking any fucking chances with dudes. And so your primary objective as a dude, the first time you meet a girl, is just overtly prove that you are a totally chill, normal, cool guy. And one of the best ways you can do that is bring her back to a nice, put-together spot because that is the final frontier. If you're lucky enough to get a girl to come back to your space, that is the final check in the box of whether or not you're getting any ass that night. If you're lucky enough to get her to come over, at that point, they're on the fucking lookout. Okay, is this guy's fucking toilet dirty as fuck? Because that's gross. Is this fucking, what's he got in his fridge? Oh, just one can of ketchup? A can of ketchup? What the fuck is that?
Whereas on the flip side, a guy will go to a girl's house and crawl through like 3 rooms of dirty laundry to get to the bedroom. Like, yeah, this is normal.
That's one of my favorite Mark Norman jokes, actually. He does that. I think Mark Norman is very underrated, by the way, and not just because he's a 2-time guest on Live from the Studio, but also because he's fucking awesome. He's been on Rogan and sick. And one of my favorite jokes from him is like goys and girls, like he always talks about like our girls really as horny as guys because they always say they are. And he goes, you know, when a guy goes to a girl's house and she's like a fucking psycho or something like that, and like her house is all fucked up and she's like weird as shit and something like that. When a girl goes to a guy's house, she's like, oh man, I gotta get the hell out of here. But when a guy goes to a girl's house and he sees like a fucking like Hitler poster on the wall and like some crazy shit, he's like, damn, I gotta bang this girl and get the hell out of here. I think that's so funny because it's so fucking true, dude. If you're a guy and your shit isn't together, bro, you're not getting ass. And if you are getting ass, you don't want to be getting ass because any girl that's gonna bang a guy looking like that in that situation, just know that she's banged a bunch of other guys that are as much of a fucking loser as you. And that's no way to be.
You gotta have the pretzel chips on deck. You gotta have the liquor. Oh wait, Jimmy, I didn't even show you this yet. You may have seen this before in life, but you know, get a little drum roll going.
Is that a fucking champagne grade Miller High Life that I'm looking at right now? What the? Oh shit! Yo,
The champagne of beer in a damn champagne bottle, baby.
No, bro.
The sponsorship finally
awesome.
came through, baby.
Oh man, that's awesome. Where the fuck did you get that?
I got this at Wine Source in Hamden. I did my last little excursion, like I was telling you earlier. I forgot to even mention that. I got the wine, I got the vodka to make the gin, and then literally as I was about to go to check out, I saw those in like a box in the corner, and they were like, "Dude, it was like $4.99 for one of these."
Oh my god, dude! Are you just gonna save
I
that
think
and just fuck?
it might be expired already, to be honest.
That's the best way to
It says
enjoy a Miller High
2019
Life.
on it.
Well, it's in a wine bottle, so that means it gets better with age.
Exactly.
You just got yourself a nice 2019
Exactly.
champagne of beers.
I got a 2019 Miller High Life, baby.
You're gonna
Right,
pop that off at your
established.
son's graduation, and it's gonna be glorious.
Yeah. 2019 champagne of beers, Miller High Life, baby.
Oh man, that
was a good pickup, I thought.
that is a phenomenal pickup, dude. I'm actually
Just
jealous.
to have that is just like
I mean,
so crucial.
that's one of those things where it's like the hand of God put that in front of your face, and
I know.
you're defying the laws of the universe if you don't fucking put that on your dry sink. I mean, come on. You gotta have that. I would spend I would spend my last $5 on that. If I only had $5 left and that was the last one in the store, I would fucking get that.
Like, damn, I guess that fucking 1200's coming in next week. I don't know.
Tell my landlord to fuck off. I got a fucking.
So did you pay? You paid rent, I assume, right?
Yeah.
I paid rent too. I feel like I think I was saying this last week too, where I'm like in a good situation where I'm like I'm already paying pretty low rent, so I don't want to be like rent strike. I'm not paying anything. Fuck the owners of property.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I know my landlord, and she's like such a nice lady, and she does like a lot of good for Hamden and the community. And it's like, no, I'm gonna give her my rent money.
and that goes back to the principle earlier, that one of the first things we talked about, which goes back to like what I was talking about with Seasons Pizza, is being a good dude. Because in the same way that somebody might get a better job and say a big middle finger to their previous employer and fucking not show up to their last couple shifts and blow them off and leave them hanging and screw them over, people look at like, okay, well, it's not legal to evict somebody right now. By law in Maryland, you can't evict somebody. But that doesn't mean that when this shit is all over and your landlord hits you up, yeah, you're gonna get fucking evicted. People they don't think in long terms. They just think like, oh, here's what is most beneficial to me right now. And right now, I'm just gonna fuck over my landlord and not give him shit because you can't evict me. And then as soon as this is over, your ass is grass, bro. You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So pay your goddamn rent. Pay your goddamn rent. I didn't want to. Nobody wants to. I never want to. Even when I'm making money, I don't want to.
I
But you do it.
definitely feel for people who like are, living in different cities though. Like if you live in like New York or LA and your rent is like out of the ass and you're already working like 2 or 3 jobs just to afford it, and now you can't even work because shit's shut down. I totally understand the rent strike in that regard, but
yeah,
I don't know.
And again, that all comes down to the human element. It's like, as long as you look, at the end of the day, what people are really looking for is a willingness to come to an agreement. If you're in a dispute with somebody and let's say you owe them $10,000, if you can just come to them and be like, hey, dude, listen, I don't have $10,000. I can pay you $1,000 a month for the next 10 months. Or I can do this, or I can do that. If you get caught if you get audited and get fucked over by the IRS, people don't go to jail for just, I mean, as far as I know, you don't just go to jail for fucking just getting caught not paying taxes. You have to really be going out of your way to fuck over the government to the point where even when they catch you, you still try to avoid shit and tax evasion and shit like that. And it's like, as long as you're showing a willingness, if you contact your landlord and say, hey, Like, if you're one of those people in a situation where you don't have the money to pay your rent, and let's say you're living in Maryland, you know, because there's probably plenty of people that can't afford their rent in Maryland because they had a really nice job and they were living in fucking Harbor East, and they, you know, they're not able to pay their fucking Harbor View apartment off of unemployment, you know? So maybe they're not able. But if you contact your landlord and you say, hey, look, I want to pay this rent. I just understandably don't have it, but here's what I can do. And what I can do is give you X amount of dollars over the course of this long, and can we work something out? Can we make an agreement? At that point, you've done everything you can, because if you don't have the money, you don't have it. You know, there's nothing you can do. You can't make money. You can't fucking just make money magically appear to give it to somebody. If you don't have it, you don't have it. But as long as you're showing a willingness to come to some sort of like solution, at that point, if your landlord still decides to evict you after everything is said and done, then that's on them. Because at that point, then they're being a dick.
Yeah, for
what
sure.
What I'm saying is, if your whole game plan is to just say, fuck you, I'm not giving you shit, and I'm going to ignore your calls, and I'm going to ignore your texts, and I'm going to fucking completely act like you don't exist because you can't technically do shit about it until this whole thing is over with, then you're in the wrong. But if you go out of your way to try to make a solution to the problem, then if the landlord still decides to fuck you over and give you the boot after that, then they're in the wrong. And once again, it's all about, you know, doing the best you can. So be a good fucking person. If you can't pay your rent, talk to people, and then just always put yourself in a position where you're the person who did everything you could. And at that point, if you've done everything you could and somebody else still decided to fuck you over, then you can at least sleep at night on your fucking sidewalk out when you're homeless and know that you're a good fucking dude, and that shit's going to come back around at some point in life, and you're going to be fine, and they fucking won't.
Beautiful. I think that's a good place to end it, dude.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. We got a boys chat to get into in a little bit, but
we can wrap
gunshots
this
on
up.
Berry Street now. People are going off.
Getting closer.
Dude. I think the fucking I honestly think like junkies just don't know what to do anymore, and they're just like going crazy. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding, dude.
I mean, I don't think this has put a stop to the drug game as far as I know, dude.
Someone said they heard 14, so that was definitely what I heard earlier with those fucking gunshots.
Dude, if you're...
That was definitely a fireworks amount of noise that I heard.
Jesus, and that was on Berry Street?
I guess. I don't know.
Where is Berry Street in relation to you?
I mean, it's like half a mile away.
Damn.
Yeah.
Didn't think people getting shot in Hamden, but I guess...
It's on the other side of Falls Road, though. Falls Road. So like it's kind of behind where kind of behind the storage facility on Falls Road, right before Atomic Comics and the Avenue. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so kind of back where Colin used to live, almost, but like closer to 36th Street.
Okay, yeah, that's still, I didn't realize that shit was going on over there. Or maybe it's not always, I mean, shit like that happens in Towson once in a blue moon.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
So
I mean, yeah. But also, I definitely do think it's probably like, you know, heroin people.
Yeah, dude.
But otherwise, let's sign off for the week. I think we got a nice little 2-hour cast in or something.
Yeah, man, no plugs. If you want to see me, call up Seasons Pizza, order a goddamn pizza.
Hell yeah, dog.
I'll come to your house. We deliver surprisingly far into the city. Like, I was down in fucking like way far in where I was like, we almost do. We go down to like a couple blocks before Cold Spring on York Road. Like, we're pretty damn close.
Damn, I'm about to get Seasons tomorrow.
We do Mount
I'll
Washington.
meet you halfway.
Yeah, dude. We definitely. I took a couple orders like pretty far in. And I was like, what the fuck?
Damn.
But
I mean, that's good though. I mean, they're servicing as many people as they can, and
they're doing it, man.
And you're getting paid for it, so that's sick.
It's all good. Yeah. So other than that,
follow
LFCS
us on social
podcast.
media. LFTS podcast on everything. At Eric
Subscribe
Glazer on
to the
everything.
goddamn YouTube.
At Jimmy Selesky on everything. Yeah, sub to the YouTube. Check out our Facebook for more live streams like this.
Every Monday night, baby.
Yeah. We're coming through the quarantine just like you guys are. Stay safe, stay healthy, And we'll catch you guys next week.
Stay humble.
Peace.
Peace.